One last video today, guys. I'm very excited. I was recently on zenfolio.com on their podcast, Zoomcast. It was a Zoomcast, but it was Zoomcast. And I was asked the question, what's the best way to learn how to pose your clients? And I was actually having this conversation with another photographer last week who's a man, who's a guy, who's a dude who's coming into the game, and he's a landscape photographer. And he's like, Jeramie, the biggest thing that scares me is how do you pose? Like, how do I go through and pose? I don't know how to pose. So I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown of my explanation, which is a very short video right now. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome inside the Tesla. We are at Macy's. We got one last gift to buy, and I'm taking this time to film a few videos before the holiday season so that I have a backlog, if you will. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Video helps you anyway. Give it a thumbs up and click that bell for notifications. It'll tell you every time I come on. If this is your first video with me, guys, I'm a photographer. I do photography videos, gear reviews, but kind of branch out into family life and dadhood, and I've rebranded this into my life. But I still talk a lot about photography and kind of what I'm thinking, and I love to get the conversation going. So comment below, and I do try to read every single comment, and I do respond to every single comment that I do read. Also, check out the description. Tons of stuff going on down there for you guys, especially for photographers. A lot of help for you guys as well. So guys, the best way to learn, and I've said this a lot, and I do this in practice a lot, it's to be photographed. It's to hire a photographer, not ask a photographer friend to shoot your photos. Hire a photographer from beginning to end. In fact, hire a photographer who doesn't know you're a photographer. Get them to shoot you. See how they pose you. See what looks good. See what feels good, right? So my career started off in selfie mode, where I would put my camera on a tripod, similar to what I'm doing now, and I would photograph myself and do selfies and then edit them and see how the lighting worked and see how it didn't work, because I didn't have people that wanted to shoot with me. I would try different poses, different things where I thought would look cool in my mind, and then I would look at the photo and I'd be like, oh my God. In fact, I would take 100 pictures and 1% would be kept. So I'd keep one image out of those 100 pictures, new profile pic, new whatever. And then I started hiring photographers, right? We started hiring photographers for our family photos. We started hiring photographers for my headshots. My wife started hiring photographers for gifts for me. And so when I do headshots and I'm starting to see like how I pose, how I look, how I feel, and I started to forget the things that I would do or say in the past that worked really well, because I was always trying new things. So if you really want to get better at posing, get shot. Invest into your community. If you are a photographer and you're not hiring photographers to shoot you, and you're always going like, hey, I want to do a trade, I want to do a trade, you're not helping your community. And so when a client comes up to you and says, I don't value your worth, or, you know, can you do it for this much? I want to book you for a wedding. It's just a few hours. That's when you start to go, oh, that feels like crap. That feels like crap. So hire those photographers. If you really love a photographer, cool. In fact, I have one that I'm hiring in 2 months after the season. I haven't worked out in 2 months, so I'm one of those people. Like, I haven't worked out in 2 months, and now I'm gonna go crazy beginning of the year again, and then get back to where I was. But I'm excited for that. Get shot, learn how to pose, and that's gonna help you build as much as you can. It's better than sitting on Pinterest. It's better than getting those cards. It's better than than a lot of these cheap things that you do, because you're not gonna have that muscle memory, that retention, that brain push to get everything done. Hopefully that helps. Let me know if you guys need more on that. I'm happy to do more stuff. Merry Christmas, everybody. I'll talk to you guys next time.